What is up, GT gang? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm Mojo GT, and this is something that we haven't touched in a very long time. And quite honestly, I haven't shot a video in a pretty long time. So I think previously you guys saw that I picked up the transmission for the Magnum. We're doing a TR6060 swap from an 09 Challenger going in our 05 Magnum. And in front of us we have a pre-Eagle 5.7 block that we bored over to 4055, which is the standard bore for a 6.1. I took the 6.1 rotating assembly out of my Charger, which now has a 426 in it. I took the rotating assembly out of that and basically incorporated into this. In the first iteration of this, it had full 6.1 cam, rods, pistons, wrist pins, and crank. So if you guys saw previously, I actually installed the wrong set of piston rings, and you can look back at it. I'm actually still beating myself up over it, but I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm taking that as a learning lesson, and it's okay to fail. You know, everybody fails, and if you're not failing, you're not trying. So we are back with this thing. I didn't send this to the machine shop. I actually hosed this thing down, and I remove all the plugs. I bought a cleaning kit, or actually my girlfriend bought me a cleaning kit for Christmas, so I was able to utilize that in all the oil galleries and clean this thing out. It did spin a rod bearing and tore a couple, by a couple I mean pretty much every bearing up, because it just consumed all the oil, and I did a hit and she started knocking. It started itself oil, and usually rotating mechanical equipment doesn't like no lubrication. Now we are at the point where I had to actually replace the crankshaft. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a cheap enough 6.1 crank because I really want to make this thing on a budget. Not that I can't afford a 6.1 crank, because they're really only like $600, which really isn't that much, all things considered. So in the corner, I have a brand new 5.7 pre-Eagle crankshaft. It actually had a little bit of rust on some of the journals, so what I had to do was polish everything up with 1200 1000 grit. It was actually super easy. Use the shoelace, go back and forth, knock that out. So all these journals, rod and main journals, are polished, and now we have this block that is cleaned. It needs to be basically hosed down with brake clean, and I'm going to take this off, and we're going to do what I didn't do before, which is paint this Hemi orange, because at this point this is an SRT motor. It's got 6.1 pistons still from the last build. Majority of the rods were able to be saved, but I did have to buy a couple 6.1 rods, but it is retaining 6.1 rods. The only thing that we had to change out of the rotating assembly as far as that aspect goes is to the 5.7 pre-Eagle crank. The only difference as far as machine goes is nothing. That's what's actually really crazy. The 5.7 pre-Eagle and 6.1 cranks are basically exactly the same. Mirror image each other, minus the fact that the pre-Eagle 5.7 crank is cast and the 6.1 crank is forged. Unfortunately, my entire crank from end to end was warped in such a manner that it wasn't able to be fixed. So that's why we had to get that crankshaft. Even though I know you guys love to hear me talk, this is what we're doing today. Taping this thing down and gonna hose it down with some brake clean and spray it Hemi orange. So I cleaned out my garage. Well, cleaned out the best of my ability. I actually vacuumed in here. That way this thing is as little amount of dust in the air as possible. I'm going to close the garage door, and we are going to start surgery. So without further ado, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is put back all these oil gallery plugs. We've got 2, 4, 6, 7 plugs here, and they vary from 1/4 inch NPT to looks like 3/8 NPT. I'm using a black, mega black OE high temp silicone gasket maker on these. All right, I have all the plugs in, all 7 of them. We got 1 here, 2 here, and then the other 4. You got the 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch there. I need to wipe that off still, actually. And then you got 2 3/8 inch plugs right here. So the next step I'm doing, since I have the block upside down, I will be checking my main bearing clearances. So tolerance from the manufacturer is a specification of 9 10,000ths to 2,000ths of an inch. How you get that number without doing plastic gauge, this is what it takes. Your cap bolted down and torqued, inside diameter, minus your crank main journal outside diameter, and that gives you your bearing clearance. You can use micrometers to figure that out, which is what we're going to do today. Or you can use what a lot of people use, which is some plastic gauge. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to make a separate video on doing this because it can be very long-winded, and I really want to go in depth on how I do this. I really like to go in depth with something like this because not only is this something that you should be doing, it's actually the very first time I've done it. I really want to capture everything it takes to build a motor of high specifications and essentially blueprinting an engine, right? I mean, you're figuring out tolerances, you're checking boxes, not necessarily something that is an absolute must. People throw motors together all the time. I've done it every time besides this time. So that being said, guys, I could ramble all day long about this, but this is something that you probably should be doing, especially if you're building something that you want to last a while, and it's a peace of mind thing. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I will catch you guys when we're done. I'll let you guys know what all my numbers are, but I will be making a specific video on how we're doing this because, quite honestly, I'm learning with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy that portion, and we should have a crank in as soon as this next video rolls. I decided to measure the rod journals. And long story short, they are measuring 2.115 and they're supposed to be 2.125. So quick math tells me that's 10 thousandths off. And I already ordered the rod bearings ahead of time, so I had them to build this motor. First it was buying the wrong main bearings. Now I bought the wrong rod bearings. I bought this crank from some dude on Facebook. It's a really nice crank. It just needs polished up a little bit. Well, the main bearings are undersized, and now the rod bearings need to be a different size too. So I should have measured it. It's my fault. It really is. It just, I wish the dude, if you're going to sell something on Facebook, tell somebody it's been machined. And if you buy something from somebody from Facebook and you don't know anything about it, measure it. So I'm wrong and that dude is in the wrong. But we're going to use this as a learning experience and continue on. I'm going to throw this crank in without the ability to put the rods in yet. I can still measure all tolerances with the crank in, and I just need to make a little progress. The thing with the charger, I'll tell you guys about that later. And then now the Magnum motor, it seems like nothing wants to go right. But anyway, I'm going to stay positive, and at least I'm able to do this stuff. You know, it could be a heck of a lot worse. It's Saturday, so I'm able to throw this crank in, and let's go ahead and throw you guys on a time lapse and hope you enjoy it. So I have the first two in, well, first two, I mean 1 and 3 here, and it spins over great. I'm not torquing the rods yet, I'm just tightening them down pretty snug. I'll torque them down once they are all installed. We're gonna continue on, do number 5, and then 7, and then rotate this thing over. Hopefully we get this thing done before I go to work in a couple hours. We are officially halfway done. Thing rotates great so far. Still rotating good. Lube, 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 lube. We are on the even bank of cylinders now. Well, unfortunately, it is 1:30. I have to leave my house between 1:45 and 2. And I have 7 of the 8 pistons and rods in. Like I said, they aren't torqued yet, but they are in. It spins over pretty good. I am going to wrap this up, pick it up tomorrow in a matter of a day for me. It'll be a couple seconds for you. See you guys there. All the rods and pistons are in. I'm currently torquing everything to spec. So 33 foot-pounds on the rods plus 60 degrees. I've got my digital torque wrench here. This is just a Quinn one. Actually, my sister got it for me for Christmas, I believe. Anyway, thanks, Cass. I hope you're watching this. We are going to torque these. We're going to use this thing. I already did the 7 and 8, so we're going to do 6 and 5. Finally have the head gasket in. So this is a 60 thousandths thick head gasket. So I basically doubled the size of the head gasket because I'm going to a Eagle cylinder head. So the difference between an Eagle and a pre-Eagle, as you guys can see, you have this quench area in the combustion chamber on the pre-Eagle 5.7, and then directly right here, you can see it's actually a closed combustion chamber. So if I were to take this cylinder head with a stock pre-Eagle head gasket, throw it on a pre-Eagle motor, you would instantly bump like, I want to say 13 plus to 1 compression ratio. And that's obviously not very streetable, at least for the normal person. What you do to mitigate that is get a thicker head gasket, and on top of having a thicker head gasket, I'm actually running 6.1 pistons, as you guys can see. That is because I've punched the bore over to a 4055. So I was able to use stock 6.1 pistons, and these pistons were actually in my Charger, which now houses a 426. So it's pretty cool how interchangeable all these parts are on these Hemis. So I did opt for a 4100 bore cylinder head gasket. That's actually the stock bore that they use for the 6.1 gaskets. I actually had to buy custom head gaskets, and they came around to $340 for the set of 2. So they definitely were not cheap, and they were custom. They took a few weeks to get here, but we have them, and we are going to do a single wipe down on the cylinder head one more time. Obviously, since I have the head gasket on, that side's clean. We are ready to mate this on. I've already got my cylinder head bolts. I just got a set of Felpros. These are tried, tested, and trued. They're brand new. They're a lot better than reusing factory stuff, obviously. So I'm going to wipe this down one more time, throw it on, and we should be able to torque these bad boys down, especially with that nice torque wrench. I may or may not have done some sketchy stuff.